Down a bit, down a bit. It's up really high.
Making some last minute adjustments. Hello. Welcome, Lauren.
Welcome, Ian.
Welcome to you. Hello, welcome to Bars and Bells. This is Ian.
I'm Lauren.
And together, we're going to stay strong, be optimistic, and have strong vibes as we finish our session here today. But first, did you see the sun last night?
I did, and I also was out for a run this morning during the sunrise.
This morning, the sunrise, or last night, the sunset. Very, very nice. Celebrate beautiful things, simple things, including simple things like our breath and your body.
I'm going to turn sideways.
Get in your comfortable position. For today's practice, we'll start with our seated versions of things. You have that chair or outrigger for some balance as well. But without further ado, pull up a chair, have a seat, and let's get into our breath here. Hand on the belly, and then a hand on the chest. Take a belly breath in for 4 seconds. In through the nose, and also out through the nose. Repeat in the chest. Take a 4-second inhale. Expand that chest and exhale. Same thing on the belly breath, a 4-second inhale. And exhale. And last time with the chest in this way, same thing. Breathe in, expand that chest, and exhale. A 4-second belly breath in. Followed by our 4-second hold. And a 4-second exhale. 4-second chest breath in. 4-second hold. Exhale. Now putting that all together, we'll go a 4-second belly breath in. Hold. And now a chest breath in. And exhale. And one last time, same thing, belly breath in for 4. And hold. And a chest breath in. And exhale. Hopefully we can find the time at the end of our practice to reset with our breath again. But until then, check in how it feels to stay seated. Lots of talk about sitting positions at work or at rest. And a lot of the times, the versions that we talk about don't look like prime exhibit A here. They look more like contorted pretzels. And we love to pretzel, so let's work on some nice flowing movements to help our body flex and then extend and stay strong and supple. So let's stand up. Come on up. Get your chair out of the way. It's gonna be a little bit loud. I'm sorry. I'll try to make it nice and quiet. And again, you can stay standing. You could be seated, but ultimately in the hips, it's gonna be more beneficial to stand up. So at the head neck, a chin tuck. Tuck the chin, modest shapes to start. And when you're out of room on the chin tuck, push your face forward to get towards that text neck posture. Then from the text neck or face forward, go chin up to the ceiling. And then from there, pull the chin down, crown of head gets high. And one more time, flexion through the neck. Once you're out of room on the down, push your face forward, nice and control on the extension of the neck. And then pull the crown high and the chin low. Now reverse that circle or wave. Extension of the neck, looking face to ceiling. And then from there, it's that face forward. And then at some point in there, it's that flexion. And keep the chin down as you're lifting up. I know that sounds a little counterintuitive, but keep tension throughout. And then we'll reach to that forward facing head, the chin tuck, and then tall. A little bit of a wiggle in there. That same wave through the T-spine or rib cage. At the head neck, a soft chin tuck. Then pull or flex through that rib cage, keeping the shoulder blades in retraction. And then at the safe flexion limit, push the sternum forward. Great. Then keeping the chin low, a little bit of a back extension on that upper back component, so nice and tall through the abs here. And then from here, connect the rib cage back to the hips. Compress down, Lead with that sternum forward. Head is gently down, even when we extend towards up, and then pull back to center. Reversing that wave, extension first. So a little bit of a chin tuck down, extension, lift the rib cage up, and then candy cane up and over the crest of that wave as we pull down into the flexion, and then keep the ribs down and lift that sternum up again into that extension phase of the spine, and then candy caning in this up and over type of way into the flexion of the spine, and then again, abs heavy down and lift the sternum forward. Look forward, and again, a little bit of a wiggle shake. The same thing in the hips. Same thing in the hips. If we tip our bowl of punches of hips, if we tip it forward, the knees might bend and we have that anterior tip. Then if we do our posterior tip, the knees might straighten out a little bit. And then from here, in that posterior tip, slowly tip the front and then catch the wave and nice and slow, try to make these wavy shapes in through those hips. Lauren's hands are on the core there, just making sure the rib cage isn't flaring, which could give the illusion of that same shape, but really isolate for last one or two. We'll try to do that nice little wave in the hip low back area. And then relax that. We'll come back to our sit. Come on down, grab that chair, nice and quiet here. Oops. And have your sit. First, sit on the edge of your chair. It's game over if that bra line or T-spine place touches that chair. None of that dumpy stuff. This could be a really hard exercise on our core to just maintain this tension. So check in as we go. From here, our feet are forward, nice and squared up. Only pretend to pull a leg off the floor. What I feel here is my left leg pressing down as my right quad and hip flexor are saying, okay, let's try to lift. And then relax. Alternate to the other side. Same thing. Recruit from these hip flexor places up tight to the groin here and pretend to lift that foot. And can you make that feel like work? And then relax. One more time, same thing, original side. From here, isometrically create tension as you're trying to pull up or flex the hip. And then relax. And then same thing, other side, create that tension by pulling up. Your other foot might feel like it's going down like a hydraulic, and then ultimately relax. That's hip flexion. Now, let's do that in a moving kind of way, making sure that we're sitting tall and we have our anterior tip of the hips, making sure, again, we're not slouchy. So from nice and tall, brace your core and actually pull a knee towards off the ground. Hold for 5, 4, 3, and then maybe put your hands on the front. Could it lift a little higher with the assistance of those hands? And then from here, could you slowly let go and hold that in that new position for 5, 4, 3, and then maybe grab on one last time. With the help of the hands, could you lift it a little bit higher? And then for one more time, very slowly let go with the hands on the knee and hold that for 5, 4, 3, and very, very slow, place that to the floor. Same thing on the other side. Where could you get in this active range of motion? So actively, we could flex the hip to here and hold for 3, 2, and gently grab. Perhaps that's where it wants to be and no further, but could you passively encourage it to go a little higher and then slowly take your hands away and actively hold that nice hip flexion for 4, 3, 2, and then 2 hands on. For the final one, lift it just a little higher if it allows, nice and tall in that posture, and then perhaps again, keep it close by if you need, but hold it for 3 more seconds. 2, and nice and control, find the floor. Whew. Wiggle that out a little bit. Hip extension is where we get to stand up again. So let's cramp on the glutes, extend those hips. You don't have to move yours the other way. It just works better for us if we do. Back to the head, the ribs, and the body here.
Oh, not hip extension yet.
Not quite, not quite. We'll get there in a second. So from here, circles on the wall. We were at the theme park before on that roller coaster. We're surfing on the waves. And here, circles at the head and neck, rib cage, and then hips. I'll get a little closer. So from standing where you are, nice and tall, slide your head and neck to the right or left. Then from there, pull the chin down and slide to the alternate side. From there, lift up without lifting the shoulders or traps. And then one more time in that same circle. Pull down, slide across, lift up, return center. Lastly, to the other side. Sliding to the right, pulling the chin down, sliding to the other side, up, around, and then last one, pull down, slide across, up and over, and then reset. Just a little bit of that wiggle. From here, the rib cage. Hands here if you wish. At the side's okay too. But from here, we're going to keep the chin or head and sternum working as a team here and slide the rib cage, in this case to the left, and then pull the rib cage down. Let your abs guide this and also prevent this from being a huge shape, but then lift up, slide across the top, feel those abdominals, do that pull, push, give and take effort to slide around one more time, and then alternate the direction to the right. Pulling it down, sliding across, pulling towards up, and one more time, pulling down, sliding around, up and over, pulling down to that center position, and then again, wiggling it. From there, into those hips. In those hips, sorry, Lauren. In those hips, open up your squat stance just a little bit and add a little bit of knee flexion. From here, the action's in the hips again as we hike up on the one side, pull ourselves to the other, pull those hips down and around, and again, one more time in that direction where we're in center, bring the hips out, pull off those hip sockets or in and out.
Are you trying to stay
and
the
then
same
we're
height,
switch,
though, Ian?
staying the same height, trying to stay the same height. You got it. Last one or two here. I just feel those hip sockets say yay or nay on that. And then in center, push away, stand up, and wiggle that out. Hip extension time. So we'll actually just use the chair and put your foot on the chair. This time, without actually stepping up, start pressing energy into the box. So from a standing position, that bent leg on top, pushing down, and slowly for 5 more seconds or so, keep pushing down through the top leg that the bottom leg almost feels like it's coming up off the floor. And then just calmly relax that. Are your hips level? Are those flashlights facing forward? And for one more time, same thing. Push energy through the bent leg down, thinking about extending through that hip, and feel this straight leg out the back also compress into the hip and feel like it's lifting off the floor. Relax that, and then very nice and easy styles again, extend to the back. Same thing other side. Nice and control, landmark on that chair apparatus, and from here, that hip extension idea is that we push through the floor this time.
Describe what you mean by hip extension.
Hip extension is pushing your hips forward, like standing up from sitting. So that's getting out of the squat or getting out of the swing. 3 more seconds, pushing those hips forward. Relax the energy a little bit. And then for one more time, the hips to level. The bent knee on the top is pressing down into the floor. And again, that straight leg, think pulling up and compressing into the hip for 3 more seconds, 2 more seconds. And relax. Bring that leg down, extend the hip, and then straighten. Have a seat again. How do those hips feel?
Fight.
Sit down, stand up. Fight for the control. Simple drill, challenging drill, the simple seated challenge. Here we go. Ultimately, I like to manipulate those ankles once we get up here. From sitting tall, core brace, like Lauren had her hands on her core abs here, and then in the hip, try to get that rotation and get the ankle to the knee on the ground. Nice. From here, Nice modification for Lauren with that bent knee, or could you straighten it out? Excuse me, great example with the bent knee, or then you're there, could you bend it and get into this position here? Okay, then overcross the leg if allowed. Now take a hand, lace it between those fingertips.
Between the toes.
Toe tips, fingertips and toe tips.
Words today.
And from here, gently get to that plantar flex shape, or the ballet foot. Sitting tall, the ankle will be more passive here as the wrist and the shoulder will be doing the action. Slowly pull the foot towards the ceiling and then push or roll that ankle towards the ground. You can see Lauren and I are both hinging forward a little bit to make that happen. And we'll do that twice more here as we bring the foot through plantar flexion towards toe tips facing up at the ceiling. And then my foot is going to reach out towards you in the camera here. And then for one more revolution, nice and control. We're doing 3 of these.
In the same direction?
Same direction. So one more time. We're doing 3s. I like 10s. 10s take too long, but hopefully that feels nice and groovy for those ankles, and we'll switch directions. So now I'll bring my foot towards the body, then towards the floor, and then reaching away and pulling it back up to the ceiling. 2 more, nice and control. Feel that connection between the hand and the foot and breathe into that. Enjoy some of the cramping or the stretching feelings you feel, but always stay away from those pinches. So I'm on my last revolution here. And again, I'm going to bring my toe tips towards the ceiling. Slowly finish in that plantar flex. Unlace those fingertips. And one more thing with this leg up here. Now bring it back towards that little knee nook. So that lateral ankle nook, touching on that lateral knee. And from your tall position, reach out of that hip socket, lift that drawbridge as you bring this bent knee towards the opposite shoulder. Then, nice and easy, press that down to the floor. 2 more again, sets of 3 here as you reach out of that hip, nice and tall. Hopefully that's a polite cramp on the butt cheeks. And then let that drawbridge back down. And for the final one, the compression in the hip. Maybe you feel that bent leg on the ground, pressing down for stability, and nice and control, down. Then one more time up, and then from there, unhook that foot and return to the floor. Same challenge on the other side, sitting nice and tall. Lauren's straighter leg or lower limb will be a little bit easier than if the knee was up higher. From here, sit tall, brace, breathe, external rotation in that hip, getting it towards that knee nook, and I too need just a little bit of extra help. So from here, I'm going to slide that lateral malleolus or that ankle bone off, fingertips lacing together.
Lacing in between your toes.
A little bit of a tight squeeze there. They might as well be fused together sometimes. But here we go. From your plantar flex or your pointed foot, we'll bring the sole of the foot towards the body.
The ceiling, yeah.
And then the toes go to the ceiling. And then from there, I'm going to push away from the body and articulating a square, a triangle, a circle shape ultimately, as we nice and slowly move around in that ankle joint. Build the connection between the hand, create the space in the foot like those yoga toe spacers could be too. And for one more revolution here, nice and control. And breathe. And leave your toe skin flaps alone.
No, I was just bringing my toe out. It was hiding.
So then from there, we'll bring the foot back towards the floor, so that plantar flexion shape. And then we'll bring it back around, nice and controlled, toe tips to ceiling. Then again, the sole of the foot faces the back wall, the toe tips face down. And then I believe we're on one more revolution here as we take it to the ceiling, into that plantar flex shape, back and around into that dorsiflex shape, and then gently let go, wiggle that around, and then slide the knee over. My knee lowered a little bit. That time there said that was okay. If this is uncomfortable, don't do it. But hopefully for a couple, we can create room in the hip as we bring that knee towards the opposite shoulder and then lower that drawbridge back down. Same thing, reach out of that hip, talk to the lateral butt cheeks here as you bring the knee up, and then nice and slow down. One last time in the full range as we go up. And then from there, let's press away and open down. And to dismount again, we'll lift the knee up to center, unhook a foot, return it to the floor, and then extend those hips. Stand up to tall. From here, we're going to put my box away. Lauren might keep her balance aid out to the side or use a wall bar. And we'll get into some nice little hip bars from standing and go from there.
Great.
Let's do it.
Oh, me.
Yeah.
All right, hip bars. Let's start nice and easy. Standing tall in the inside leg. Use your balance aid so balance is not an issue in this drill. Point to the front. We're going to do some half circles here. As you come to the side, I want to see your inseam as you get to the side. So show me that inseam right there, but once you get there, make sure both hips are pressing forward. From there, we'll kind of unrotate or hide the inseam and pull the leg back underneath. Repeat again. To the front point. Start opening as you turn that corner to the side, inseam forward, and then unrotate, pull inseam to inseam. Last time. Point. Open up, to the side, unrotate, pull underneath. Now we're going to go to the back here, but I want to go to the back with a flex foot, so not a pointed foot. Flex your foot right away, pulling your toes, the ball of your feet off the floor. Heel might be down still. Now, reach to the back. It's probably not far. Keep your hips tucked under you. Feel that glute. Then start to open up to show me the inseam there. Bring it to the side, just like we did. Close it, inseam, touch inseam. Repeat again. Straight to the back, knee is straight. Open up in the hip socket to the side. Rotate in, inseam to inseam. Last time, straight to the back. Open up, rotate, and then unrotate, inseam to inseam. Rest that. Same thing, second side. Standing tall. To the front first with that pointed foot, stacking the knee, the hip, the shoulder on the stability side, point to the front, externally rotate, show that inseam once you get to the side, but hips and square, shoulders square forward, hide the inseam, pull them together. Repeat, front point, open up to the side, hide, pull to center. One more time, front, point, rotate, hips forward, unrotate, pull together. Now to the back for 2, 3. Flex the foot again, reach it back, open it around its circle, to the side, rotate it in a bit, pull to center. Repeat, to the back, open, rotate around to the side, pull to center. Last time, flexed foot, reach with glutes, stay square, open in its socket, but hip or pelvis doesn't come with you. Keep the knee straight to the side, pull underneath. Whew, that was work. Great.
How are those hips?
So good.
Saying hello, saying good morning, saying bring it on. We want more. If that's the case, let's do a little movement clock here, add some gentle movements to that, and then maybe we'll do that hip bar again, a little higher. Woohoo, feel those burns. So first version of our movement clock here, pull off the floor, point through the leg, toe ball heel, and scissor together to try to get that dorsiflexion or the knee forward on the front. Then push forward, come underneath. Just to the front and laterals here. So same thing to the side. Pull off the foot, point through the toe, absorb the landing, toe ball heel, and again, those hips to level. Then push to center. Same thing other side. Pull off, toe ball heel, scissoring forward, extending that hip in the back, and then pushing under. And then same thing, point, toe ball heel. Let's share that camera. And then from here, we'll press to the bent side to come home. Let's do that one more time each leg. Pull off, point, toe ball heel, and scissor. I'm pulling that front leg in, and the same with that back. Then, press press away, in. Other side, open, toe ball heel on the landing, keeping those hips level, pulling the heels together still, and then push away to center. Other leg twice last time, toe ball heel, scissoring in, feeling that tension in the hips, press away, center, and then pull up, extend. Hello, toe ball heel, hips level, push, and center. Shake it out. Let's go hip bars one more time, Lauren, off the floor. Maybe higher, maybe the same. Maybe higher, maybe the same.
All right, with your balance aid, we're still gonna just do half circles though. So let's re-pattern it again, front to side. To the front on the floor, point. As you come to the side, open it up. We're gonna close it back to the front though. So from the side to the front, straight knee underneath. And straighter, because I saw it bend and I can't even see you. Do it again. Point to the front, lift off the floor, start rotating to the side to touch, and then bring it back to the front. Tap down, straight knee underneath. One more time. Point to the front, maybe up a little higher, rotate it open to send it to the side, to the front again, tap, slow control, pull under, meet as your hips come under, or as your knee comes under, meet with those hips pushing forward. Shake that out. Second side for 3 again. Pattern on the floor first.
To the back or
no,
side?
Second side. Pointing to the front, drawing the circle on the floor to the side, and then back to the front, straightest leg underneath, drag through that foot, to the front, point, lift a little bit, open it up as you send it to the side, back to center, point, tap, pull under, meet through. One more time, point to the front, off the floor a little bit, up to the side, hips forward, square forward, to the front, tap, straight under. Whew, shake that out.
Awesome. One more movement clock. Lauren was pretty adamant on those straight legs right there, and she's not wrong. However, this time, the leg that stays put will do the bending, and the leg that moves will be super, super straight. So in that vein, in the direction of our plie squat here, sit your bum down over your heel, very light tension on that front leg, and then extend those hips to meet center. Then slide that leg out towards the side here, sending energy left and right, and also extend to tall. One more time on that same side, the knee bends, the butt stays directly over top of the heel, and then extend through. And then last time on that leg here for now, out to the side, hold a little bit, stand up, nice and tall. Repeat, little weight shift, same thing.
Other side.
Other leg, knee over toe, sit in that little plie or narrow squat and extend the hip through. Leg out to the side, send that tension lateral here on both sides as you reach, and then extend. And one more time again, nice and control, to the front, extend the hip through, and then open to the side and extend to tall. Shaking that out in the middle. The wiggles to break it up and to excite your body to say, okay, we'll do that again. Or to give yourself that opportunity to say, whoa, that's too much, and come back to more simple movements. From here, we've done our restoring bits. Let's recharge. Push-ups, some fun squats, and as well to finish with that breath. So handing that torch over to the push-up master, Lauren, so that way no one gets mad at me. Hello, Lauren. Let's do some push-ups.
Let's get out there via our hinge. Standing tall, chop your hips, walking yourself out. Sorry, Ian, how many rounds of this do we have?
Oh, based on time, like the 3 or the 4.
Okay, we're gonna walk ourselves out. We're gonna do 2 of these then. So to that high plank or high push-up position, first, drop your hips through, squeeze your butt, brace your core. Pull your shoulders down. Hold this high position for 5, 4, 3, 2. Now keep that tension on your core and your glutes as you slowly lower for 5, all the way down. 4, 3, 2. Soft landing, either from the knees or the toes. Tuck, 1 unit to press back up. Tuck your toes, lift hips again. Hold, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now slow down, keep that tension. 5, 4, 3, 2. Soft landing, tuck, press away again. Tuck your toes, lift your knees. Slowly press the floor away, extending your hips up to the ceiling. With these, now for a couple, let's try to straighten those knees, keeping our tail nice and long. And breathe, trying to push those heels down. And then one more time, gently bend the knees, tilt that punch bowl forward or your tail to the ceiling, and then gently try to straighten those knees. This time we'll just bend the knees, walk our hands back towards our feet, using your hinge to extend your hips through to tall. Relax.
Relax. Relax, says Lauren. The squats for today will be done in the, not vein, what's the right word? Vein might be the right word, in the style of those sumos. Inspired by the sumo type of squat. A sumo stance, again, is approximately 2 shoulder widths of yours.
In the name?
In the name?
In the vein?
In the name.
Anyway, of sumos.
One more set of squats.
Sorry, let's stop that entertainment.
So from here, take your time and pull yourself down. And then from here, push into the floor and stand up. We're going to do that for 4 repetitions here. Nice and slow, same thing. Pull yourself down and then push energy down to go back up to tall. Pull those heels together. There's too much friction or weight going down to move them, but you're pulling in and then pushing out to tall. For one more time, same thing. Let's pull in, create that adductor tension here through those hamstrings, and then push to tall. From there, heel toes in and wiggle it all about. From that, we'll go into our set of push-ups again. Push-ups.
We hinged. Let's forward fold this time. Stand tall. I like my feet a little narrower under me. From the head, look up looking up towards the ceiling, then tucking your chin, and then pulling your sternum, your rib cage toward your hips, and imagining you're forward folding in a phone booth. That means your butt can't go back because there's no room behind you, and your head has to stay really close to your body as you slowly roll yourself down. Dangle for a second. Try to keep those knees straight. Then when they need to bend, let them bend. Hands find the floor. Walk yourself out again to that high push-up. This time, we're going to come through. We're in our high plank position. Hold. 3, 2. Now find halfway position. Hold. 3, 2. Then all the way to the floor. Tuck those hips. Press back up. Same thing. You're in your top hold. 3, 2. Now you're in your middle station hold. 3, 2. Lower to the ground. Tuck those hips. Press away from the floor. Press back up. Now, this time we'll walk our hands towards our feet, trying to keep our knees as straight as we can. Once we get all the way in, unstack yourself. So think your first vertebrae comes on top of your tailbone, and then the next one, and then your belly button stacks up. And then your rib cage stacks on top, your shoulders, and lastly, your head. Great. Squats in the name of sumos.
Squat time. This time while we stand up, we'll keep things modest as we approach that Shiko squat. So address your sumo stance. Pull yourself down. This time as we stand up, we'll stand up to one leg, meaning my left leg will come in. Then from there, open to the sumo. And same thing. Pull down with control and press up, transferring the weight to the single leg. Toe ball heel in the landings. Press up. Find your quick balance. Out to the side, pull low, press up. Woo. Hold on that balance. And then open. And we go 2 more each side here. Up, in, and then toe ball heel. Press up. And woo, my balance is showing which one is good and working on improving. Here we go. 1 more time each side. Press to tall. And then last one. Press to tall. And then that's A+. And I was just excited to get my wiggle on.
Get your wiggle on.
So same thing. How are the push-ups going at home? We could hang out in the top plank. We could do them against the wall. But let's follow along with Lauren to stay strong and work on that pushing strength.
You know where it's going. To hover at the bottom.
Oh, the hover.
Choose either your forward fold or your hinge.
What are you doing?
Don't do both. Pick one. I'm going to hinge.
I'll fold.
Well, however you're doing that, you're eventually finding the floor, walking yourself out to that high plank or push-up position. Let's get established there. Ready, set, hold. 3, 2, then halfway station, hold. 3, 2, then hover just off the ground. 3, 2, all the way down. Press back up. Do it again. High, hold. 3, 2, mid, hold. 3, 2, lower hover. 3, 2, all the way down. 1 unit up. And then pushing back and stand up the same way you came down. Either the hinge or the fold. Be distinctive. All the way to tall. Whew.
All right. Shiko squat progression.
1 more set.
Number 3. Sumo stances. Pull ourselves down. Press to balance on 1 foot. And then lift that knee into that hip flexion position. Then straighten, toe ball heel on the landing, and press to 1 leg. Flex the hip knee, lifting, then extending, and toe ball heel. Press to our single leg. Lifting it up, extending through, toe ball heel. Stand. Flex, lift, extend, down, and 2 more each side here. Nice and control. Own that extension, beautiful. Press to tall, flex, extend, down. And I think 1 more each side here. Oh, is that it?
That was
1
even,
more for
but...
fun. 1 more for fun here. And then toe ball heel. And last time. And point. Down, up. Whew. Heels, toes together. And wiggle it out.
Nice.
I have 1 more set of presses, pushing ups.
Ooh.
Maybe Lauren does too. Join us for 1 more set of that and 1 more final set of the squat.
All right. Let's try to just do your number of continuous push-ups. 5 at the most, anywhere from 1 to 5. Lower to that 90 degrees. Press back up. You choose, again, fold or hinge. Walk yourself out.
Ooh,
Your push-up position, either from the knees or the toes. 1 to 5, awesome push-ups. Go ahead. Keep that tension through your core the whole time. I couldn't push you over while you were doing these. And head is staying in line with shoulders. Once you're done, pressing yourself back up the same way you came down. And standing up tall. Is that 5?
That was 5. Slow.
Nice
and slow. We're going to break the rules of the ballet here, and again, adopting more of those sumo stance squats. The rules of those ballet would be hips level for as long as possible. But then we're going to try to break some of those rules, challenge our balance, and then ultimately end up in our squat. 6 to 8 total, 3 to 4 each leg. Let's do it. Final movement of the day regarding our squat.
Excellent.
Back up, Lauren. Back up. Back up. There you go. There you go. Okay. So we're nice and tall. We're in our sumo stance. We'll pull ourselves down. From here, press to a single leg, climb the leg, and then allow the body to go for a little bit of a ride and toe ball heel down. Press to a single leg. Little bit of a weight shift. Straighten the leg. Toe ball heel. That's 2 reps. This is number 3.
Try to keep that standing leg straight, 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 straight. And then it will bend.
And number 4, the slower is harder. So nice and control. Number 5 here. Keep those hips forward, straighten the knee. Rep number 6. Nice. And then one more time each side here. Tall, climb that leg, open up. And one last time, find that weight transfer, climb the leg, explore the space, pull down, and come up. Heel toes together, and then shake. Lauren's gonna find her favorite position on the floor here, and I'll be in my little size sit as we finish with our breathing drills for today. The nasal breathing. In the belly, out the nose. In the belly, out the nose. Now let's take a 4-second breath into the belly. 4, 3, 2, and hold for 4 seconds. And exhale. 4, 3, 2. Now a chest breath in for 4 seconds again. And then exhale for 4, 3, 2. Now putting that all together, we'll go belly breath in for 4 seconds. Hold full for 4. And take a chest breath in for up to 4 as well. And then exhale for 4. Repeating a couple more times here to finish. Belly breath in for 4. And hold for 4. And then a chest breath in. And exhale. 2 more. 4-second belly breath in. And a 4-second hold. And a chest breath in. And exhale. For the final one today, a 4-second belly. Our 4-second hold. The safest, biggest inhale. And the longest, slowest exhale. Resume breathing into the belly, nice and calmly. In and out. Take a breath. Take a drink. And take your time getting up from the floor. Thank you very much for spending the morning, the evening, afternoon, under the sunset, sunrise, you name the time. We're live many times in the week in the archive thereafter. My name is Ian.
I'm Lauren.
We stay strong with our bars, our kettlebells, and our bodyweight exercises that you can do at home, the gym, and in between workstations, sitting at your desk in this super strong, unpretzeled way. Or if you end up in that pretzel, learn how to also flow and get out of the pretzel shape. I'm hungry. Let's go eat some pretzels. Pretzels this weekend.
Probably just eggs.
Probably just eggs. Stick to those basics. Thank you very much for joining. I'm Ian.
Oh, I guess I'm Lauren again.
And we'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
Take care.